Armies, you're not ready for this. Jungkook's newly leaked arrival video is spreading everywhere, and no one expected what happened next. Within minutes of the footage going viral, Taehyung reacted, and his response left fans stunned. Was it planned? Was it emotional? Or did he know the camera was never supposed to catch that moment? People are replaying every second, analyzing every expression, and the theories are already out of control, because whatever Taehyung did after that video surfaced, it changed everything. When the video began circulating across platforms, the first reaction from fans was excitement. Something new, something unexpected. But as more people watched the clip, the mood shifted. It didn't feel like a typical public appearance or a planned recording. The angles, the timing, the conversation in the background, everything about it felt unfiltered, unprepared, and undeniably personal. And that's exactly why it spread so quickly. People weren't just watching Jungkook arrive. They were watching a moment that wasn't supposed to be seen. As the share count climbed into the millions, fans started noticing something strange. Taehyung, who had been offline for days, suddenly appeared online. At the exact time the video reached peak attention. It was almost impossible to call it coincidence. But it wasn't just the timing that grabbed everyone's attention, it was his behavior. His expression softened, his posture shifted, and for a moment he didn't say anything. He just watched the screen, almost as if he recognized the moment captured in the leaked footage. Some fans claimed he looked emotional. Others argued it wasn't emotion but realization, as if something he had been waiting for finally arrived without warning. The silence that followed was louder than any statement. Taehyung didn't deny the rumors, didn't brush off the topic, and didn't pretend he didn't know what everyone was talking about. Instead, he existed in the quiet, a quiet that left room for interpretation, curiosity, and endless theories. Meanwhile, Jungkook remained silent. No reaction. No post. No clarification. It was as if he was letting the world talk while he watched everything unfold from behind the scenes. Fans began piecing together timelines, rewatching live streams and resurfacing old interviews, looking for a connection, something that could explain why Taehyung reacted the way he did. But what made the situation even more intense was how natural it all felt. There was no panic, no urgency, just two people caught in a moment that the world wasn't supposed to see, yet now couldn't look away from. As more angles of the leaked video surfaced, one detail became impossible to ignore. Jungkook looked calm, not surprised, not rushed, almost prepared. And that detail changed the tone of the narrative completely. Suddenly, this wasn't just a leaked video. It was a puzzle, and everyone could feel that a missing piece was still coming. And now fans aren't just watching the situation unfold. They're waiting. Because the next move, whether it's a word, a gesture, or another silence, will reveal whether this moment was accidental or intentional. As the internet continued dissecting every frame of the leaked video and every second of Taehyung's reaction, something unexpected began to happen. The conversation shifted, not toward chaos or confusion, but toward understanding. Fans started looking beyond the surface, beyond the theories, beyond the noise. They began asking the question no one considered at first. What if this wasn't meant to spark drama, but meant to be seen? Hours later, another subtle update appeared. Not from Jungkook and not from Taehyung, but from someone close to the production team connected to the leaked footage. A short message, vague but intentional, appeared on their private account. Sometimes timing reveals what silence can't. The post vanished minutes later, but not before screenshots spread across fan spaces. Suddenly, the meaning of everything that had happened felt different. Less like a mistake, more like a signal. Late into the evening, just when the excitement began to settle, a small update from Taehyung appeared. Not a live stream, not a statement, just a single photo. It wasn't of himself, it wasn't of Jungkook. It was a simple picture of a night sky with a caption. Some things don't need noise. They just need the right moment. The world paused again. Fans stared at the post not because it confirmed anything but because it felt like it did. For the first time since the leak, the comments weren't filled with questions, they were filled with gratitude, with support, with understanding. And while Taehyung's post spread like wildfire, something else happened quietly on Jungkook's end. He logged in. Not publicly, not loudly, but just enough for fans to see his green online indicator glow. It lasted only seconds, yet those seconds carried weight. It felt like acknowledgement, like presence, like a silent, "I'm here too," even without speaking. The two created a moment that felt unplanned yet perfectly timed, a moment that made fans realize something. This wasn't just about a leaked video. It wasn't about reactions, rumors, or theories. It was about connection, whatever form it existed in, whatever meaning it carried. And now, more than ever, the fandom isn't demanding answers, that they're waiting for them, patiently, respectfully, and with a quiet excitement. Because everyone can feel it now. Something is building, something intentional. And when the moment finally arrives, when the silence finally breaks, it won't feel like clarification. It will feel like a chapter finally turning to the page everyone has been waiting for. But the chaos didn't end there, because what happened next had armies questioning everything. Just a few hours after the leaked video spread everywhere, someone noticed something strange. Taehyung posted again. Not a picture, not a selfie, not even a song, just one sentence. Some things aren't for the world only, for the people who know the meaning. No context. No explanation. Nothing attached. And immediately everyone wondered, was he talking about Jungkook? Because the timing wasn't normal. It was too perfect, too connected, too personal. Fans began putting pieces together. In the leaked video, Jungkook seemed relaxed. He wasn't surrounded by staff. He wasn't acting like an idol. He was just himself. And Taehyung's message sounded like someone protecting something or someone precious. But then something even crazier happened. Jungkook suddenly went live. No scheduled announcement. No warning. He sat there quietly at first, just reading comments, biting his lip like he was deciding whether to speak or stay silent. And then he finally said, "Sometimes people forget that we're human too. We deserve real moments, even if they're not meant to be seen." He didn't deny the video, he didn't apologize, he didn't act angry. Instead, he looked calm, almost emotional. There was this long pause, and then a small smile appeared. "If someone understands me without needing an explanation, that's enough." Fans immediately froze because that line? Taehyung has said almost the exact same thing in an old interview years ago. The energy shifted. It no longer felt like an accident or a scandal. It felt like a silent conversation between two people who didn't need the world to validate them. And as the live ended, Jungkook whispered something softly, almost like he didn't mean for anyone to catch it. "Some things are meant to stay between hearts." But Army heard it. And now the question is echoing everywhere. Was that just a coincidence? Or was Taehyung the message all along? After Jungkook ended the live, the entire fandom went silent. Not because there was nothing to say, but because everyone knew something had shifted. This wasn't just a random leaked moment anymore. This felt intentional. It felt connected. And then, as if the universe wanted to make it even more confusing, something unexpected appeared. A fan posted a photo on Weverse, a blurry picture taken from far away, showing two silhouettes walking near the river late at night. The caption read, "Is this them?" At first, no one believed it was too vague, too distant, too uncertain. But then fans noticed something impossible to ignore. The height difference, the body language, and most importantly, the way one of them walked with hands in pockets while the other lightly swung their arms. People had seen that exact dynamic before. In concerts. In behind-the-scenes footage. In award shows. It looked like Jungkook and Taehyung. Suddenly comments exploded. Some were shocked. Some were excited. Some didn't know what to think. But while the fandom fought over theories, something else happened, something so subtle yet so powerful. Taehyung liked the post. No words, no correction, no denial. Just a single like. And that small action created a storm bigger than the leak itself. People began analyzing everything. Was the like accidental? Was it a hint? Was it a message? Some fans noticed something even deeper. Taehyung had never liked posts related to rumors before. He usually ignored them or avoided reacting to. So why this one? Hours passed, but neither of them spoke again. No statements. No clarification. Just silence, the kind of silence that feels louder than any headline. But then, right when the internet started calming down, Jungkook appeared on Weverse with one short message. "If you know, you know." That was it. Nothing else. And somehow those 5 words felt like the final piece to a puzzle nobody asked for, yet everyone wanted. This wasn't just rumors anymore. It wasn't just coincidence. It felt like a story unfolding, quietly, privately, but clearly in front of millions. And now everyone's left wondering, was the leaked video the beginning of a problem, or the beginning of the truth finally coming out? The next morning, social media was already on fire. Hashtags, theories, edits, everything spread faster than anyone could control. But the real chaos began when a Korean news outlet picked up the story. They didn't confirm anything. They didn't deny anything either. Instead, they used the one headline that always destroys peace. Suspicious interaction between BTS members sparks rumors. Once that article dropped, everything escalated. More media outlets joined in. Reporters began digging for footage, timestamps, locations, anything they could tie together. But the strangest part? HYB stayed silent and no clarification. No correction. Nothing. And when HYB is silent, fans know something is happening. Meanwhile, Taehyung was spotted leaving his apartment, wearing a cap low over his face. Even with the disguise, fans recognized him instantly. Cameras clicked, questions were shouted, but he didn't respond. Until one reporter asked loudly, "Taehyung, is the rumor true? Was it you and Jungkook last night?" He paused. Just for a second. Not long enough to confirm anything, but long enough to make everyone gasp. Then, without looking back, he said softly, "Some things don't need explaining." Those 7 words shattered the internet. Some fans screamed. Some cried. Some simply froze in disbelief. Because that wasn't denial. That wasn't avoidance. That it felt like acknowledgement, quiet, intentional, and emotional. While the world tried to translate and decode his meaning, Jungkook suddenly appeared on Instagram. Not with a selfie. Not with text. Just a simple black and white photo. 2 pairs of shoes placed side by side. Familiar shoes. Fans recognized them immediately. 1 pair belonged to Jungkook. The other belonged to Taehyung. And underneath the photo, no caption. But sometimes silence says more than any explanation. Some fans celebrated. Some questioned everything. Some couldn't believe how bold they were suddenly being. But deep down, everyone shared the same thought. Why now? Why, after years of avoiding rumors, staying low-key, and protecting privacy, did they suddenly choose to let the world see pieces of something so personal? Was it courage? Was it timing? Or had they simply stopped running from what was always there? No one knew the answer, but one thing had become impossible to ignore. This wasn't just a coincidence anymore. This was the beginning of something big, intentional, and undeniably emotional, and now everyone is waiting for the next move. Will they speak? Will HYB step in? Or will another unexpected moment appear and change everything again? Later that night, just when the internet finally began calming down, Jungkook went live again. Unannounced, with no schedule, no warning. The notification popped up and instantly millions joined. Comments moved too fast to read, hearts flooded the screen, and everyone waited in complete suspense. But Jungkook didn't speak right away. He sat there quietly, hoodie up, looking calm, almost too calm. There was a soft instrumental song playing in the background, something slow and emotional, the kind of song people play when they're thinking about someone they care about. He finally looked into the camera and said, "I didn't expect things to spread like this." His voice wasn't frustrated, it was soft, thoughtful, almost gentle. He continued, "People are curious, and I get it. But not everything needs to be explained right away." Fans held their breath. His words were careful, but there was meaning underneath them, heavy, intentional, emotional. For a moment he smiled, a small, almost shy smile. Then he added, "Sometimes, it's better to feel something instead of trying to label it." That sentence alone sent the fandom into chaos. Some fans screamed in the comments. Some spammed emojis. Others typed, "Is this about Taehyung?" Jungkook saw the comments. Everyone could tell he didn't panic, he didn't avoid it. Instead, he lowered his gaze, rubbed the back of his neck like he was debating something. Then he softly laughed. Not a forced laugh, a real one, the kind he only does when he feels comfortable. And then he said something no one expected. "If someone makes you happy, you protect that." Silence. A silence so thick even the comments slowed for a second, as if everyone needed time to process it. Before anyone could recover, something appeared on the screen, a notification. Taehyung has joined the live. The timing was unreal, almost cinematic. Jungkook glanced at the screen, saw Taehyung's username, and his expression changed instantly. His eyes softened, his shoulders relaxed, and the smallest but most genuine smile appeared. Without overthinking it, Jungkook said, "You're late." There was no explanation for the comment, no context, yet every fan watching understood the tone. It wasn't irritation. It was familiarity. Comfort. Connection. Taehyung didn't write anything. He didn't comment, didn't chat, he just stayed there silently watching. And somehow that presence alone spoke louder than words. Jungkook ended the live shortly after, but before the screen went black he said one final line. Good night. And don't assume, just watch. Millions of fans stayed frozen, staring at their screens even after the live ended, trying to understand what just happened, because that wasn't random. That wasn't accidental. That felt like a message, a promise that something bigger was coming. Something that would either break the internet or finally answer the question the world has been asking for years.